You. I'm Eric, and this is Isaac.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you. I'm Alice.
All right, why did you choose to become a Jewish professional?
I actually did not choose to become a Jewish professional. I became a Jewish professional strictly by accident. I was looking for a job. I saw an ad in a newspaper. I applied. When I showed up for the interview, I found myself in the offices of Hebrew Union College, which is the rabbinical seminary and cantorial school. And when the interviewer asked me if I knew where I was, I told him, yes, I knew where I was. Not only that, but I did know one of the rabbis that used to go there. Of course, the interviewer said, oh yeah, David Saperstein, he's upstairs. He's visiting. So David came down, we chatted for a few minutes, and I got the job. I spent 11 years in Hebrew Union College. Consequently, I know all your cantors and all your rabbis from there. And after that, I decided to change direction. I became an executive director of a synagogue in Chappaqua, New York, upstate New York. And I had the privilege of hosting President Clinton in our congregation after 9/11. Because they had a house in Chappaqua, so obviously our congregation was very important for them, and they came for the high holiday services. And at the end of the services, we sang God Bless America, and it was an extremely touching service. After 4 years there, I was offered a position in Short Hills. I spent 13 years in Short Hills until 2018, when I retired. And after being at home for a year and a half, I decided I was bored. And then I was offered a position in your temple, in our temple, as an interim executive director. And here I am.
Cool.
So you never know what can happen when you answer an ad in the newspaper. Of course,
sounds like a very long journey.
Well, yeah, a journey of 28 years.
Wow, it's awesome.
Well, that's my life. Plus, so that you know, my background is my father was a rabbi. So I grew up in Jewish life.
Okay, next, what is one of your main goals that you have for this year?
For this year, given the COVID situation, I want to make sure that everything is running smoothly. We want to make sure that our high holiday services, which are going to be very, very different from anything that anybody experienced in the past, are going to be memorable, and that will draw people back into the temple when we open again. And I hope that's going to be soon.
What excites you about Temple Emmanuel?
The potential for growth, seeing the young generation that, and we have a lot of young people who are truly interested in Judaism, who are truly interested in the temple and Jewish life. And I'm hoping that we can grow the next generation of Jewish leaders.
What is one of the main quotes that you live by or that inspires you?
Oh, I don't have a quote. I have a little saying. My principle in life is the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. Meaning, try not to complicate anything. Make sure that everything is very clear, logical. And that's how I try to live my life.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
That's an interesting question. My younger self is very old now, but I grew up in a generation where women did not have the opportunities, and my younger self I would have told my younger self, you know what, just because it wasn't done before, just because nobody else went, no other woman in your family went to law school, do it. I mean, it's just, opportunities. Take the jump. Don't think about it too deeply. Just do what feels right.
What's one thing that you want everyone to know about you?
That I'm trying my best. That's all I can say. It's the times are very challenging for the temple, for everybody involved, and my team, everybody in the temple is trying our best to make sure that we provide a memorable Jewish experience for the congregation and for the young people.
Mm. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
That's an interesting question. Any superpower? If I could go back into the past,
Mm.
I would buy Amazon stock when it first came up.
Very smart.
When it was $35 and now it's over 2,000.
Mm-hmm.
And with a superpower like that, I could probably retire much more comfortably.
Yeah.
Well, that's, hindsight would be, yes, that's exactly what it is. If hindsight would be the superpower I would like to have.
Yeah.
Mm.
What would you say are some of your greatest strengths?
I'm a great believer in teamwork. I'm a great believer in making sure that everybody on my team, everybody who works for the temple with me, gets the credit for what they do. Because when everybody gets the credit, they work much harder. My expectations are high, and everybody so far has lived up to them because they get the credit for all the good work that they do.
What is your favorite animal?
A cat.
Mm.
I had a cat. We had a cat, and unfortunately, it passed away at the age of 17. But it passed away at home, on the couch, on its favorite blanket. So it was a good life and a good death.
If you were stranded on a desert island, what 2 items would you bring with you?
Oh my God! My cell phone, provided there was connection, which of course it would die very quickly. And actually, I would probably bring a notepad and a pen or pencil, so that if I'm not found, they would find my will and testament in writing.
Mm. If you could travel anywhere in the world that you've never been before, where would you go?
Probably to Australia and New
Mm.
Zealand. Never been there. It's a long schlep, but it might be interesting to see.
Definitely.
Of course, not during the not when they have heat wave and fires, but you would have to know the weather forecast for the trip.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be interesting.
What's your favorite show on Netflix?
Oh, my favorite show on Netflix was Shtisel. That's an Israeli show. It deals with the ultra-Orthodox in Jerusalem, and it was fascinating. Because I do have family that is very Orthodox, and it showed a different side of their lives, and it's something that you guys might want to look at because it's not something that you see in Westfield or Short Hills in this area. It's very interesting.
If you were a musical instrument, what instrument would you be and why?
Oh, not exactly a musical instrument. I would like to be a chauffeur. This way I just have to perform once a year and I'm done. What can I tell you? Not exactly the interview that you expected.
Yeah. What is your favorite book?
Oh, God. I actually can't say that I do have a favorite book. I don't. I like to read. I used to like to read a different genre of books. I like science fiction. My husband was a Judaica book dealer, so we have a lot of Judaica books in the house. So it's sort of, we are a multicultural family.
Yeah.
What's your favorite type of food?
My favorite type of food. I don't know. Probably Israeli.
Mm.
Some hummus with baba ganoush.
Baba ganoush, so very good.
Yeah, there is a very good place in Montclair if you guys like that kind of food. It's called Mishmish.
Cool.
The guy is Israeli Manny, and he was also on television. He was part of the cooking shows. He almost won.
What is your favorite memory in the Jewish community?
Favorite meal in the Jewish community? Huh. Well, I guess my favorite, I have probably several. As a child, I used to go to services with my father. And since I grew up in Prague, I used to go to a very old synagogue where they say that the golem is still buried on the roof. It's a historical site. So that was one of mine. And in the last few years, I guess in the last 2 years, in 2018, my favorite memory would be of my retirement Shabbat service EDJ, where after 13 years, I got to see a lot of people in one place. I had a Friday night service, and we had about 500 attendees, and it was nice to be able to say goodbye to my friends that way.
What do you hope to accomplish at Temple Emmanuel?
What I hope to accomplish is I hope to make sure that, the Thai holiday services are going to go well. I hope to, given the fact that I am only a temporary executive director, I hope that I will leave a legacy for the next executive director, that they'll be able to step in and find what I found, a growing positive congregation.
And then next, what do you think is going to be the hardest step to overcome during the whole COVID situation at Temple Emmanuel?
Well, the hardest part is to overcome people's fears.
Mm-hmm.
We have congregants who are afraid that even if we open the building, they'll be afraid to come back in because they are elderly and they might be afraid of contracting the disease. Young families might be afraid to bring children in because they might be exposed. So it's the fear that I see as the biggest challenge. Once we can convince the congregation that we are taking all the precautions, everything that can be done, and we reopen the doors even now, we hope that everybody will be comfortable to come back in and find a different kind of congregation, a different kind of service, but something that they'll find stimulating and enjoyable.
Yeah.
Do you think that Central New Jersey exists?
I have no idea. I have to tell you for a simple reason. When I started working in Short Hills, we moved to West Orange.
Mm-hmm.
And my car basically knew one way to go. It was from my house to Short Hills, and then maybe occasionally to Short Hills Mall. Now that I still live in West Orange, so my car only knows its way to Westfield, and I have no idea where Central New Jersey is. Is it around here? I don't know.
Yeah.
So why are you asking?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think anyone knows. It's definitely.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it seems like I don't know if I live in Central New Jersey or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
New Jersey. No.
Okay. I think that's all the questions we have for today. Thank you so much for coming out here.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I enjoy seeing you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.